It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like. Reach out, touch space.
The British synth pop legends Depeche Mode have been putting out music for nearly 30 years and continue to do so with the release of their 12th studio record, Sounds of the Universe. And along the way, the band has influenced a generation of artists while constantly developing and evolving their own sound. On this special edition of MTV News, we look back at the storied career of Depeche Mode, talk to some of the bands that they've influenced, and finally, we sit down with the guys in New York City to talk about their career, their triumphs, and their new record. All right, here is the lowdown on Depeche Mode. The band formed in 1980 in Basildon, England. At the time, original members Martin Gore, Vince Clarke, and Andy Fletcher were playing in a synth band called Composition of Sound. Clarke heard singer Dave Gahan performing a cover of David Bowie's Heroes at a local venue and asked him to join the band. The group changed their name to Depeche Mode, meaning hurried fashion, after a French magazine, and, well, the rest is history. So in 1981, the band released their first UK top 10 single, Just Can't Get Enough, as well as their first album entitled Speak and Spell.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot.
At the end of 1981, Clarke, who at the time was the primary songwriter, left the band over creative differences, leaving Martin Gore as the main songwriter. The band then added keyboardist and eventual producer Alan Wilder to the lineup. Through the early to mid-80s, the band began developing its sound in an industrial direction, working with producer Gareth Jones and using samplers with their synths. Gore also began evolving lyrically, dealing with darker political, social, and sexual themes in songs. In 1985, Depeche Mode made a splash in North America with their single People Are People off their fourth album, Some Great Reward, and soon followed it up with the release of their first singles compilation. The band started earning a cult following in the U.S. college scene as well as the Gothic community. Depeche Mode reached gigantic success with a breakthrough U.S. tour Behind Music for the Masses in '88 that capped with an enormous show at the Rose Bowl in California, playing to over 60,000 fans. The band released a documentary following that tour and legendary stadium show. It's titled Depeche Mode 101.
Reach out, touch space.
So Mode's popularity was at an all-time high during the early 90s when the band released two of their biggest albums. They're called Violator and Songs of Faith and Devotion, which fused the band's electronic sound and some rock flair. Many of the band's most popular singles, such as Personal Jesus, Enjoy the Silence, and I Feel You, came out of this era. So while the success of the band was at an all-time high, the well-being of the band was reaching an all-time low, with drug addictions, health issues, and inter-band conflict. On the notoriously debauched devotional tour, the band nearly self-destructed as Gore suffered from alcoholism and seizures, Fletcher from chronic depression, and Gahan's heroin addiction and near-fatal overdose. So following that tour, Alan Wilder quit Depeche Mode, citing frustration with a lack of respect and acknowledgement for his work. The band then decided to continue recording as a trio, despite Gahan's serious drug problems. In 1996, however, Gahan checked himself into rehab and made a full recovery. Mode released a brand new album called Ultra in '97 to a warm reception and successfully toured behind their second single compilation released in 1998.
Precious and fragile things.
And then after taking a few years off and remaining clean, healthy, and ambitious, the band released Exciter in 2001 and Playing the Angel in 2005, with theater and arena tours worldwide in support of both.
I was marching to the wrong drum with the wrong scum.
So that brings us to right now. Depeche Mode recently released their 12th studio album called Sounds of the Universe and is preparing to embark on yet another worldwide tour. With over 75 million albums sold worldwide and #1 albums in the US, UK, and Europe, Depeche Mode has proven to be one of the longest-lasting, most successful bands of our time.